Ever wonder how some everyday products, like how do they get that super clear look, like drinking glasses or, cosmetics and stuff?
Yeah.
Turns out a lot of it comes down to magnets, industrial magnets. And that's what we're diving deep into today. Who knew magnets played such a big part in making sure things are, pure?
Yeah, it's a whole hidden world of tech most people don't even think about, but it's super important, especially in industries where, purity is key.
Absolutely. And to illustrate that, we're going back to May 6th, 2023. A leading glassware company, they're based in the Middle East. They reached out to Sinoneo magnets with a problem, a big problem. They were finding all these tiny, tiny iron particles in their raw materials.
Yeah, it happens more often than you think.
Right, and it can really mess things up.
Yeah.
In this case, it was completely ruining the look of their glassware. I mean, who wants a cloudy glass, right?
Right.
Plus, all those little bits of metal were wreaking havoc on their equipment.
Oh yeah, talk about a headache trying to keep production running smoothly with that going on, especially when you factor in the need for, high temperatures. We're talking 80 degrees Celsius here.
80 degrees, wow.
And they needed a solution that would allow for constant cleaning, not an easy fix.
So I'm guessing this is where the magnets come in.
You got it. It's actually a pretty elegant solution when you think about it. Iron, even those superfine particles, they're magnetic. So bring in a strong enough magnet and boom, you can just pull those impurities right out.
So simple, yet so effective. Okay, so what kind of system did they come up with?
So Sinoneo, they proposed this easy clean magnetic grid system. Pretty self-explanatory, right? The big challenge was figuring out how strong the magnetic field needed to be to actually trap those iron particles. They landed on a whopping 12,000 Gauss.
12,000? I don't even know what that means, but it sounds impressive.
Oh, it is. To give you an idea, that's about 24 times stronger than your average fridge magnet. We're talking strong enough to lift several kilos of iron. They needed that kind of power to grab onto those superfine particles.
Makes sense. So I'm assuming building something that powerful gets expensive.
You'd think so, right? Initially, they were looking at using these magnetic rods, 32 millimeters in diameter. That's, pretty hefty.
Oh, okay.
But then Sinoneo's engineers, they found a really clever workaround. By reducing the diameter of the rods just down to 25 millimeters, they could still achieve that 12,000 Gauss strength, but using, less material overall.
So smaller magnets, same strength, lower cost.
Exactly. A win-win for the glassware company.
Okay, but did it actually work? So they've got these super powered magnets ready to roll. What happened when they actually put them to the test? Did they work?
Okay, so Sinoneo, they sent over 2 sample units to the glassware company, who then installed them, right there in their production line. And get this, the results were amazing. They were removing almost every single iron particle from the raw materials.
Wow. Completely clean.
Pretty much, almost 100%. But the real question is, how did that translate to the final product, right?
Yeah.
I mean, did they actually see an improvement in the glass itself?
Right, because that's what it's all about. So higher quality glassware then.
Exactly, that was the first thing they noticed. No more of those pesky particles messing up the clarity or the look of the glass. But it goes beyond just the aesthetics. Remember all those problems they were having with the equipment?
Oh yeah, all that damage from the iron bits. So did the magnets help with that too?
Big time. The damage to their equipment dropped significantly. Way fewer breakdowns, which means they're saving money on repairs, and less downtime overall, so production can just keep on humming.
Yeah, that makes sense. Less downtime, smoother operation. Gotta love that. So they're making better glassware, saving money, and their production is more efficient. Sounds like a win-win-win to me.
Anything else? Oh yeah, there's one more thing, and it's a big one. Remember, they needed a solution that wouldn't slow them down.
Right.
They had to be able to keep production rolling.
Right.
Well, the easy clean magnetic grid totally lived up to its name. It was so easy to clean, really straightforward, which meant they didn't lose any time with complicated cleaning procedures.
So they really solved the problem on every level. Amazing what a well-designed system can do. This easy clean magnetic grid though, it seems like such a simple solution. I wonder why magnets aren't used even more widely in manufacturing.
It's a good question, and it highlights something really important. It's not just about throwing some magnets into a production line and calling it a day. It takes real engineering know-how to design a magnetic system that's actually effective.
Oh, so it's more complicated than it looks.
Definitely. You have to think about the specific materials you're working with, how pure you need them to be, what temperatures you're dealing with. a whole bunch of factors.
So it's about understanding the problem and then like really tailoring the solution.
Exactly, and that's what makes this Sinoneo case study so interesting. They worked closely with the Glassware company, really listened to their concerns, and then they designed this custom solution that not only solved the immediate problem, but also saved them money and made their whole operation more efficient in the long run.
Yeah, it really shows what's possible when you combine, clever engineering with a real understanding of the problem you're trying to solve.
Absolutely. And it kind of drives home a key point from today's deep dive, right? Sometimes the most elegant solutions, the ones that really make a difference, they're kind of invisible, working behind the scenes.
Totally. It makes you think about all the hidden complexity in the stuff we use every day.
Right. We just expect things to be a certain way, like a glass of water should be crystal clear, or I don't know, our phone should have this perfectly smooth finish. But we rarely stop to think about the tech, the ingenuity that goes into actually making those things happen.
Exactly. It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. Magnets are secretly making our lives better in all these ways we don't even realize.
For sure. And who knows what the future holds, right? As technology keeps evolving, we're bound to find even more uses for magnets for all sorts of things.
Yeah, the possibilities are pretty exciting. Well, on that note, I think we've reached the end of our magnetic deep dive.
I'd say so.
It's been fascinating, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Just goes to show sometimes the smallest things, those tiny iron particles or even the magnets themselves, can have a huge impact.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, on that note, we'll leave you with this thought. Next time you pick up a product, anything really, and it just seems, flawlessly made, take a second, think about all the work that went into it, all the tech that's maybe hidden beneath the surface.
Keep asking those questions.
That's a wrap on another deep dive. See you next time for another adventure into the world of hidden tech.